What's up, everybody? How you doing? My name's Brody. I'm with Mufasa and my girl Lindsey, and we're just bullshitting it today.
We're here for another episode of Deep Fried. I got a few questions I wanted to run by a few of you. First off, I hate to disappoint you, but I failed Sober October. When we met.
You did say that.
Yeah, because I met you on October the 1st at Crystal Ball, and it was not my position to be there. Everyone was more drunk than me. And when you're at the party and you're the least drunk person, you are having like much less fun than everyone else.
I was having a ball. I didn't even drink. I was having a ball.
Where was this at?
The Crystal Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a party there?
Oh, it was just a little event, I think. I think it was live music.
I think it was like First Friday. Yeah, it was First Friday.
I know there was Tori dancing in the window, so I don't know if that was live music or not. It was live dancing. But
I don't think I went to their first location, but I've never been to their new location that they opened up.
It's nice, but it's always so sad to see when people fail the first time they make a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean?
Like when you see a new restaurant come out and it's a whole new actual business, and it comes out and they have to close down, like Viet Thai.
Is that what happened with them, with Crystal Ball, with the first place?
Yeah.
I thought it was still open.
No, it's closed, isn't it?
Oh.
Isn't it?
Fourth final. Nice. That's the only one I've ever known.
But their second spot is like small as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I guess that's part of it. The limitations. Sometimes it's too expensive to pay rent on a huge ass bar if only 12 people come in a night.
True that. I mean, I don't know. Crystal Ball. I'm not that much of a brewery person, to be honest with you.
No, your medication prevents you from taking in too much wheat alcohol.
Yeah, seriously. I'll get high like a motherfucker. Really bad.
That would be so stressful. Just have a drink and then bam, high.
It's not instantaneous. It's like within the hour.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, pretty much. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
like, not instantaneous, but like, if I have like 3 beers, 3 hours, like 2 hours later, I'll have highs. Not just like a little bit, like patches all over my body.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, but I realized that I can't drink beer on my medication. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine on wine and liquor. Just like anything that has fucking weed in it. It's just, I can't do it.
Yeah, I tried to, I started a new medication like in the past few weeks, and I couldn't tell like whether or not alcohol would like interfere with it. And so the other week I tried to have half of a wine cooler, and my entire body was like schlumped.
Just rejected it.
Yeah, it was like,
What?
bitch, no, you're not doing shit.
If it's not Jamaican me crazy, I don't want it.
All I wanted was some wine. I wanted some wine, but we went to the store and it was like this whole big deal. They were like, we can't sell wine after 11. And we're like, okay, we're not gonna drive all the way somewhere else, so we'll just get some wine coolers. And so I was like, okay, like that's less, but like whatever. And I can't believe my whole body deteriorated.
Yeah, instantly.
Completely.
Just
it was like, no, bitch, you're not even finishing this drink.
Damn.
It hurt my heart so much.
Wait, so did you throw up and shit?
No, like it was like, cause the medications, cause my body was like my joints and stuff and like muscles were like getting really stiff and stuff. And so like I was like pretty good like that day or whatever, and then as soon as I drank alcohol, like everything, it was like I never took the medicine. Like my body was like,
yeah.
no.
Some chemicals
What kind
have
of
an
medication
anti.
are you
Yeah.
on?
It's just like this stuff for like I guess like joint and muscle pain and stuff. Like you're not supposed to stay on it forever, but you know, I'll find like something else.
Opium.
Or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
That's always the
working.
next step. It's like
So you
you're
have
in
a lot
pain.
of problems
Didn't
with
work.
that? With, like,
I mean, it's recent. Like, I honestly have no idea what's going on, and like I got like a shit ton of blood tests last time I went to the doctor, and so like actually in a couple days I'm going back to see what's the official problem. So, but I've been feeling like real good lately, so it's making me like, oh, I want to like go drink some wine, but then I'm like, no, if that happens again, I will cry. If my body's like,
yeah, it's gonna be over. You're just
so I'm not even gonna try it until I change medication or something else, or they're like, oh, you're fine. Like, I'm not even gonna mess with it, and it makes me sad, but not that sad because I don't drink that much anyway. But like when you have a taste.
I just realized that very few people here honestly know exactly who you are. Why don't you tell us? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, me. My name is Lindsey, and I am a college student. I go to college for music production and entrepreneurship. I've been doing music for my whole life, but I've been seriously doing music for, what year is it? I don't know.
It's 2019 right now.
Since like 2013, I guess.
6 years, nice.
Something roughly like that.
Wonderful.
I've been, because I always wanted to be a singer when I was little, but then like eventually you have to like figure out, okay, what's your actual plan? So I realized like I really like the tech side, so I want to get into production. So like I'm in college for it, but I'm like within my second-ish, third-ish year, so all I've really done is like, you know, the like prereqs and stuff, but like I've gone to, like it's like, so I'm just sitting here like waiting, like trying to get into like producing and stuff, but I really don't know where to start on my own because I'm definitely like a classroom person. But I've helped with like some music conferences, music festivals and stuff, and that's really nice, but I'm just, you know, trying to figure it out,
So
trying to get into the
field.
field.
What kind of music festivals have you done? Like local ones around here?
I did this earlier in April this year. I did Launch Music Festival in Lancaster, which turns out is a really big deal.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say. I was like, ooh.
It was really, really cool because.
What did you do there?
Well, okay, so our college has its own stage actually yearly at Launch, and so I helped with our stage, but they also like the launch people themselves put us on a bunch of different things. So I actually didn't spend a whole lot of time at our stage. I was actually put as the one of the stage managers for a different stage, and so I just kind of like worked with like getting artists on and off stage, set up and sound in the back.
So you realized more that even though you are and profess to be a proficient singer, you prefer to be on that part of it, coordinating and calculating exactly how a person gets on stage and sings.
I like both. Like first and foremost, I'm a singer, and that is my whole avenue into music, and that I won't ever like drop that, and I still do want to make my own music. But when it comes to production, it's most like I first wanted to get into it so that I could make my own, so I wouldn't have to depend on other people. But then I realized I like other people as well, so I want to like help produce, get their creative dream out. But then also I really like the whole like touring and shows and like getting people on and off stage and like organizing like where are you gonna play this and that, like.
But
so
if you had to
like
tour, if you had to be the singer, that would sweat you out. You'd be tired of that quicker than you'd be being the
I think so, yeah.
woman behind the scenes with the tape on the rehearsals.
Like I
like
recently went to a couple concerts. I recently went to a Gus Dapperton concert. Love that man.
Say that again for me.
Gus Dapperton.
Nice.
So my shirt right now is actually from the
shit. Looks
from
fresh.
the concert.
I was gonna mention it.
I went to the concert and I was front row because I got that VIP pass. I was ready. Okay, so I was front row and I was just like looking at everything. Like everyone else is there and they're just like, oh, like my star, like music, and I'm like, yeah, that too. But I'm at the stage, looking at the stage set up, looking at the people set up the stage, thinking about that, thinking about the sound they're running and all this stuff. And I was like, you know, as the artist, I would get real tired of like singing all of these songs all these days, like traveling and stuff. But like if I was like a tour manager, I would feel so much better. So like I really don't know.
That's
like,
where you feel like you're the most comfortable.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be the most comfortable. But at the same time, I want to go like present my music to the world. So I feel like I do like a little bit of both, but then lean towards like the management.
Of course,
area, if that makes sense.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of career movement, especially in the same genre.
Yeah, like the industry's like so wide with like different types of jobs that like you realize like, oh, you could be in the industry but not have to be like a singer. And one of the main things I learned at one of the conferences, they said is like, if you want to be successful, like you want to live off of like music or like live off the industry, like chances are you're going to have like 3 or 4 jobs, because living just off of being a singer is like very, very hard.
Of course, of course.
Like,
now, what inspired you to drive into this field, specifically coordinating and such? What really made you want to do that? Because obviously, wanting to be a singer, that sounds like so much of a better job. You get the spotlight on you, you get famous, you get a lot more money. You know what I mean?
Well, it sounds like
the money
it
comes.
seems more realistic to be a producer than a singer.
That's what
Or not realistic, but like
stable.
Yeah. Because
But like
if
that's
you
the
don't,
thing is like maybe it's not that, but like you said, if you're a singer, you have to have like 3 or 4 jobs. You know what I mean? So like. Why? I mean, you don't really have to go to school for singing if you're a good enough singer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, you can have a voice coach. And
you were
shit
singing.
like that.
You were singing before you went to school for it, right?
Yeah, like I've
Yeah.
been singing since I could sing.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, either you can sing or you can't. You know what I mean? I can't sing.
Yeah.
And like, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
No, dude, it's not. Yeah,
But
so funny.
not at all.
but you might as well just go to school for something that evolves around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like music
especially if you
production and
have
shit
it.
like that.
Especially if you have a natural proficiency. You're right. And if you have a natural proficiency and you're a producer, you can speak from experience.
Yeah, that too is also, it's like, I wouldn't want to like have my stuff produced by or be told what to do by someone who doesn't know music or who doesn't do music. So I was like, I can sing, but I want to learn about music itself too, so that I know what I'm talking about and like I can like communicate better.
Do you have a favor towards any specific genre?
I mean, it depends like kind of how you define it, because I listen to like a lot of things. I really like like synth pop, like kind of almost like 80s music and like 80s inspired music. And I also really like
Toro y Moi. You ever heard of them?
maybe.
Yeah.
That's the French
what
for me and the bull. Toro y moi.
They
You ever heard of them?
Oh wait, maybe not. I don't think so.
It's
That's-
totally
it's
like
very
that.
synthy.
And I feel like you would like
I'll have to
what
look
you just
into
described to me is what they are. Like,
I'll have to look into
Have a
it.
listen right now.
no, seriously.
Because they're one of the few
I'm
people.
about to play it
they're
right
one
now
of the few
because I
people
feel
we
like
can
you
play
would like
on
it.
Deep Fried
Word.
because they're
Yeah.
cool, and
Because they're cool.
that's why I'm all right.
Like Gus is kind of like if you modernized like 80s synth pop.
We're talking about something like this.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I love that. That's not what I meant, but I do love that.
yeah.
I'm listening to that later.
Yeah, dude,
like,
it's a great song.
But like that's like I like listening to that. But I like listening to like R&B and like indie stuff. Like it's hard to like really describe like the genres that I'm a large fan of. I guess if that makes sense. I'm usually like more of an artist person than genre.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that makes
I
sense.
mean, no, that totally. I mean, to me, that makes sense because like I'm a big fan of how music, like the way that it's put together, number one, and then who it's done by. Because there's a lot of people who sing the original songs, and then they also people who do the covers, and sometimes covers are a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
And
Like
so,
that's the
like-
whole reason why Elvis got famous.
Yeah, true. I mean,
A lot of people.
That's
Truthfully.
Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's how they got famous too, off of that fucking Ike and Tina Turner song. I forget what it's called.
I know what you're talking about.
But I feel like genres are more of a fucking industrial, like built thing. You know what I mean?
and that
like,
the fluidity between them is the nature of music.
Especially
Yeah.
now,
Interesting.
like, because, like, if you look at the history of music, like, they were in genres for a reason, and, like, it made sense then, but now, like, everything, like, is such a crossover that genres are kind of, like, fading away, which is fine. Like I like genres. I think they're necessary and not necessary. Like,
Because
it really depends.
yeah, you can tell people what you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, because
You
like
can tell
if you
people what
want to learn
like.
the history of music, genres are necessary to break it down into different segments and stuff.
I like the
And
way you say that
they're
like that.
they're important, and they each genre meant something. Like like how blues like came about. Like that's important. Like blues has to be its own genre. But then like if you're later and you're just being straight creative with it and you want to mix it with something else, like that's fine. But that needs to be said that it's its own thing. So it's just kind of like it's very fluid. So like I like genres. And they're definitely a thing. But when describing my music taste, it's kind of hard to like only use genres, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Nowadays, there's so many subgenres.
Yeah, everything. That's why, because like if I talk about today, I can't give you a genre really. Like nothing feels like a genre.
So, which catechol is that one?
Oh, this one?
No. Oh. That chemical.
Oh, chemical.
That no. That one is catechol. But I don't know what that subgroup that you're standing your hand on right now.
This?
Yes.
No, this whole thing is dopamine.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, that makes sense. That's why catechol is illegal. Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
Can you show the camera what that is?
I don't know.
For those...
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're fine.
This right here.
For those unaware, that simple molecule is the one that tells a person whether to be remembering this situation or avoiding it.
Which one? Catechol?
Dopamine.
No, dopamine is the one. It's one of the three like happy chemicals, like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin.
Well, that's what
it's
they
the
mean,
one.
happy, but it's
but
not
this
exactly.
one in particular is about like drive and passion type deal.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
This is the one that says, "Hey, remember this."
Yeah, it's like, oh, you like doing this? Do more of that. Like,
But not so much in that direction too. If there's a significant amount of dopamine in your head, it can force a symptom of paranoia or disturbance.
Yeah.
And that usually also occurs while you're under the hyperbole of extension that is an adrenaline rush. So if you're hyped up, let's say a predator is chasing you, you're not only pushing norepinephrine and adrenaline, but you're also pumping overload on dopamine. And it gets you hyper focused. Remember things. Where are they moving? Where direction is the wind blowing, and what direction are the leaves blowing? Those things are something you have to remember, because if they change and you're not aware of it, your brain then subsequently fails to have kept you alive. It's prime directive.
it's an amazing chemical.
Dude, it tells you.
Why do you have it tattooed on yourself?
Well, when I first got a tattoo, my mom was like, you know how people get dopamine, right? And I was like, Mother, this is not a drug thing.
Yeah, no, dude.
And because I didn't get it for a drug thing. I don't do drugs. But I got it
We
because...
could do that one.
Okay. This is for like literal natural brain dopamine is why I got this. For the sake of like, essentially to remind me of like when I'm doing things that like drive me, that I'm passionate about, that make me happy, to keep doing that. So essentially keep getting more dopamine in order to do that. Keep like stay on that drive. Like remember to always like do what makes you passionate. Like essentially that.
That is a very interesting way to see it, because most of the time I see people with chemicals on their hand.
It's like some interesting stuff. It's
usually a very complex molecule, and then they don't tell you exactly what it is.
Because they're all like, hee hee hee.
But I know which ones the average run-of-the-mill drugs are. So like, if I see the wrong one,
that's the opposite reason that I've known everybody to have a chemical tattoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like dead ass. Like I've seen so many looks at fucking festivals. I got fucking DMT, fucking LSD.
That's usually what I see too.
And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and like to a person who understands any form of chemistry, and you're definitely familiar with how to spell out a drug in chemical form, especially like at least 4 of them, the big ones. Nobody knows how to draw morphine.
But that's
really
the
hard
thing is
chemical
like,
control.
I guess for me, it doesn't even. I don't even have to know what it is. Like,
You just assume.
I just assume by looking at them that it's some sort of psychedelic or weed. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I catch them with chocolate or caffeine.
Oh, I think I have seen
Theobromide and caffeine are really recent. I've seen them.
That's
Really,
cute.
caffeine.
Or chocolate.
That would be so cute.
Because I've been trying to study chemistry for years, and Brody can attest to this.
Yeah, but how do you know they probably fucked it up?
What?
It may just be a fucked up tattoo.
No, I know how to speak chemistry.
No, I know, but who knows? They could have gone in there It's like when we get Chinese tattoos. They could be doing it like we get Chinese tattoos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
But that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying.
could be.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, if unless you know how to speak chemistry, they could be like, oh, put cannabis, put the THC molecule right
It
here.
would be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking feel it.
And then as soon as they do that, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna put like sugar, and they wouldn't know the difference because they don't speak the language. It's its own individual language called chemistrian. And I'm sorry, I can't let myself get into the digressions that I enjoy. This is
It
about
doesn't
you
go on.
today.
No, it's okay. I
I'm
get
flying.
it. I'm the same way.
So, can you show us about the rest of them? I'm glad we talked about this because I actually had this on my paper, and it's like as if it's either you were wearing a long shirt or you had like made your tattoos appear in like the week since I've seen you.
Oh no, they've
Because I've
always been
never-
there. Yeah, or I think I was wearing like a long sleeve turtleneck.
Yeah, dude.
Because it was cold. It was cold as fuck.
Glad
yeah.
I caught that one.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not sure how far the camera reaches. So
No, dude, it's fine.
But okay, if we go in order, this was my first one, and I was all like, yes, and I got it like I said for why, but I got it in this placement because since
Where
I was
exactly?
right here in the middle of my forearm, not like the middle because that would have been tacky, but like right here. And I'm very particular with my placements. Like the tattoo artist has never like really judged my placements because I'm very extremely particular with my placements. I'll get into that with other ones too, but I got it smack dab right here because since I was like 12 and found out that tattoos were a thing, I was always like, oh, I'm getting them bitches everywhere. And I was like, I'm going to make sure that I get them on my lower arms because I want to go into the music industry, and I'm going to make sure that I promise myself that no matter what, like I'm not going to get like a desk job that makes me feel dead because like, oh, you just have to do this because like, oh, people are like, oh, you got to do jobs you have to do. So I never want a job where like having tattoos and being creative. Oh, I guess, okay, we'll just switch. Having tattoos and being creative like would like deter
Intercept
them
your
from
ability to have a job.
So I want to make sure I always have a job that's totally me. So I'm always making sure I'm like fulfilling that. So putting it right here, you can't hide that. Like you can like do long sleeve shirts and stuff, but essentially like you really can't hide that. So I wanted to make sure I started right here so that I had no excuse. But I did.
Are you ready to go all the way? We can go halves on a face tattoo.
No. I do have placements where I don't want them,
face
and
tats.
face. I won't do the
No,
face.
we can do the Eye of
can't.
Anubis.
No. Have you ever seen House of Anubis, the show?
I don't watch television.
Oh, I forgot. You haven't either. It wasn't like very popular. It was like the small one. So then this was my first one, and then I got these two a day apart at launch. Actually,
A day apart.
a day apart.
Why?
It was a short one for funsies. Well, okay. I got this one. I planned this one ahead of time. Yes, I planned this one ahead of time to get like during the launch conference, like at this shop. But then I found out that there was going to be live tattooing at the conference,
Jeez.
and I was like, oh. And so I went there. It was a whole like setup. Like it was very like sanitary and everything, almost like a mini shop. And so I looked at their flash and I didn't really like anything, but I still wanted to get a tattoo. And so I was like talking to the artist, and she was really cool. And I was just like running her down like some of my ideas, and I was like, oh, I really like want to get a bubblegum and Marceline tattoo, but I'm not committed yet because I don't like know what style or whatever. And so then we went like and found like some images, and there's this one of them singing together, and I thought it was perfect because like the music mixed with like I love them, and like I just thought it was perfect. But yeah, it was pretty sore. I was initially gonna get this like in here, but they were like, that's going to be super sensitive. And I was like, you're right. And so I just got it here, and it felt like nothing. And then this is just my first ever random flash tattoo. But I liked it because it's like traditional style. I wanted at least one like super traditional style tattoo. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel like living here and having a certain geographic versus having any other geographic location has benefited you? Do you think being in Pennsylvania gives you a higher chance of being famous more than let's say California?
Well, I mean, I don't think she's trying to be famous, are you? You know what
sorry.
I mean?
Oh,
I guess successful.
Well living.
Yeah, well
successful.
living.
Yeah.
I like, I feel like my location currently is only beneficial because of my college.
Yeah.
If I was just here,
Is
like,
your college like a good college to go to for music production?
I don't know yet. Because like I said, I've just been like working the prereq so far, with the exception of like doing like the club that's with the studio that kind of lets me go to conferences and stuff. So I haven't like really gotten into the classes yet. I'm doing that next semester.
Right.
So to be determined, but I think it's definitely good connection wise. There's definitely a lot of connection.
So why did you feel like college was a better decision than, say, jumping on a band and starting to just do it?
Well, I think that's definitely like a personal, like it's definitely a personal decision, because I could have easily just graduated high school and then like went out and done it.
Well, then I ask then, why? With that personal decision, why do you feel like that was the right idea?
Yeah, for me, it was the right idea because I'm someone who learns best like in a structured setting. So in a setting where like someone who knows what they're talking about is kind of showing me the ropes, and then I can kind of like branch off and do my own thing and like really like delve into it. But I need like that beginning like kind of initial like push to show like where do you need to go, like what is like I just need that, especially just like at that time in my life. Like at 18, like I wasn't ready to just go out and do all of that.
But you've had your 1,000 hours and you've put your 40 hours a week in singing, having fun, and now you feel like you know enough about singing, about being a musician, to coordinate these things.
I feel like
right?
once I graduate or get closer to graduation, I will. Because right now, like the only like 40-hour weeks I've put in are like at food service jobs. So like most of my like music experience is still limited for where I want it to be before I'm ready to like go out. And plus like it's kind of helping me figure out exactly my place in the industry.
Okay, so
yes.
So you are proficient at singing, correct?
Yes.
Could you show us something? You said you had something for us?
Yeah, I just do a little like mini cover, a little chorus, refrain.
It's the instrumental, I hope.
I think there's a cover. I was just gonna acapella it.
Go ahead.
All right. I like my girls just like I like my honey, sweet, a little selfish. I like my women like I like my money, green, a little jealous. 'Cause I'm a beautiful wreck, a colorful mess, but I'm funny. Oh, I'm a heartbreak vet with a stone cold neck, yeah, I'm charming. All the pretty girls in the world, and I'm in this place with you. Colored out the lines, came to find my fire was fade with you. Heartache will stay with you, fly great escapes with you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, first for Deep Fried is to have somebody perform for us live, and I'm very glad we could spend that with you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm honored.
Of course. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope you all stay tuned for the next episode
Thank you
of
for
Deep Fried.
joining us,
Thank you
Lindsey.
for
Of
joining us.
course.